Welcome back to the Mushroom Therapy Podcast. I'm psychologist Yee Lin, and in today's episode, we are going to explore a topic that is absolutely central to safe and meaningful therapeutic journey work: the role of the guide, facilitator, or sitter during a mushroom experience. Before we begin, I want to remind our listeners that if you want to learn the full structured approach to therapeutic mushroom journey work, you can explore the book, The Ultimate Mushroom Therapy Protocol, available on Amazon now. This guide walks through preparation, intention setting, journey support, and integration so that individuals can approach this work responsibly and thoughtfully. I also encourage you to visit the Mushroom Therapy YouTube channel hosted by Shaman Gabriel, where many of these topics are explored through conversations about healing, consciousness, and the real-world application of therapeutic mushroom work.
Hey everyone, if you're enjoying this content, please subscribe.
In previous episodes, we discussed preparation, trauma, the nervous system, and the importance of intention and ritual. Today, we are going to focus on something that often determines whether a journey becomes confusing and overwhelming or safe and transformative: the presence of a skilled and supportive guide. Many people imagine psychedelic experiences as solitary adventures. Popular culture often portrays these journeys as something individuals undertake alone, exploring their minds without any external support. While some people may feel drawn to solitary exploration, therapeutic mushroom work emphasizes a very different approach. From a psychological perspective, having a supportive and experienced presence nearby can dramatically influence the safety and depth of the experience. A guide, facilitator, or sitter is someone who remains present during the journey to help maintain a safe environment, provide reassurance if needed, and support the individual through emotional moments that may arise. It is important to understand that the role of a guide is not to control the experience or direct the journey. The guide does not attempt to shape what the individual sees or feels. Instead, the guide holds the space in which the experience unfolds. In many ways, the guide acts as a stabilizing presence. When individuals enter altered states of consciousness, their perception of reality can shift in profound ways. Time may feel different. Emotions may become amplified. Memories or symbolic imagery may arise with great intensity. In these moments, simply knowing that a calm and grounded person is present can help the nervous system feel safe enough to explore these inner landscapes. Safety is one of the most important psychological foundations for healing. When the nervous system perceives safety, it becomes more willing to release suppressed emotions and revisit difficult memories. When the nervous system feels threatened or unsupported, it tends to contract and become defensive. This is why the presence of a trusted guide can be so important during therapeutic journey work. The guide creates an environment where the individual does not have to manage the external world. They can focus entirely on their internal experience. For example, if the individual becomes physically uncomfortable, the guide may help adjust the environment by offering water, adjusting blankets, or changing music. These simple actions help maintain comfort and prevent unnecessary distractions from interrupting the emotional process. More importantly, the guide provides emotional reassurance if the journey becomes challenging. It is important to remember that challenging moments are not necessarily negative experiences. In therapeutic contexts, Difficult emotions often represent the mind processing unresolved material. Fear, sadness, grief, or confusion may appear as the psyche begins bringing hidden experiences into awareness. Without support, individuals may become overwhelmed by these emotions and attempt to resist them. Resistance can sometimes intensify the discomfort. But when a calm and supportive guide is present, individuals can be gently reminded that what they are experiencing is temporary and that it is safe to allow the emotions to move through them. Sometimes the most helpful thing a guide can offer is simply presence. A reassuring voice, a gentle reminder to breathe, or even quiet companionship can help the individual remain grounded while the experience unfolds. Another important role of the guide is maintaining psychological neutrality. This means the guide does not impose interpretations or tell the individual what their experience means. The purpose of the journey is for the individual's own psyche to reveal insights and emotions that are meaningful to them. If a guide attempts to impose their own beliefs or interpretations, it can interfere with the natural unfolding of the experience. Instead, skilled guides practice deep listening and patience. They allow the individual's experience to emerge organically without trying to direct it. This approach respects the intelligence of the mind and acknowledges that each person's healing process is unique. Another aspect of the guide's role occurs before the journey even begins. Preparation conversations are an essential part of responsible therapeutic work. During preparation, the guide helps the individual clarify their intentions, discuss emotional readiness, and understand what they may encounter during the journey. These conversations also help establish trust between the individual and the guide. Trust is extremely important in altered states of consciousness. When individuals feel safe with the person supporting them, they are more likely to surrender to the experience rather than constantly monitoring the environment for signs of danger. Preparation may also include discussing grounding techniques, breathing practices, and strategies for navigating difficult emotions. For example, individuals may be encouraged to approach challenging moments with curiosity rather than fear. Instead of asking, "How do I make this stop?" they might be invited to ask, "What is this experience trying to show me?" This shift in perspective can transform moments of discomfort into opportunities for insight and healing. The guide's role also continues after the journey during the integration process. Integration conversations allow individuals to reflect on what they experienced and begin making sense of the insights that emerged. Sometimes people remember vivid imagery, emotional breakthroughs, or symbolic experiences that feel deeply meaningful but difficult to interpret. Through supportive dialogue, guides can help individuals explore these experiences without imposing rigid explanations. Integration often involves asking reflective questions. What emotions surfaced during the journey? What patterns did you notice about your life? What perspectives shifted? What changes might support your continued healing? These questions help individuals translate the experience into practical understanding. Without integration, even powerful journeys can fade into memory without creating lasting transformation. With integration, the experience becomes part of an ongoing process of personal growth. Another important quality of a skilled guide is humility. Guides must recognize that they are not the source of healing. Their role is to support the process, not to claim ownership of it. The real work occurs within the individual's own mind and nervous system. The guide simply helps create the conditions where that work can unfold safely. This perspective is essential for maintaining ethical integrity in therapeutic work. Unfortunately, the growing interest in psychedelic experiences has also led to situations where individuals present themselves as experts without adequate training, psychological understanding, or ethical awareness. Responsible facilitators understand the limits of their role. They prioritize safety, transparency, and the well-being of the individuals they support. They encourage integration practices, ongoing self-reflection, and when necessary, collaboration with licensed mental health professionals. Another important element of effective guidance is emotional regulation. A guide must be able to remain calm and grounded even when the individual is experiencing intense emotions. If the guide becomes anxious or reactive, it can unintentionally amplify the individual's distress. This is why experienced guides often cultivate practices such as meditation, breathwork, or mindfulness. These practices help them maintain a stable presence during unpredictable moments. Their calm presence becomes a model for the nervous system of the person journeying. When someone nearby remains relaxed and supportive, it sends subtle signals to the brain that the situation is safe. Over time, this sense of safety allows the individual to explore deeper emotional layers with confidence. Another dimension of guidance involves knowing when not to intervene. Sometimes individuals move through complex emotional landscapes during their journey. They may cry, express frustration, or revisit painful memories. While these moments may appear intense from the outside, they are often part of a meaningful emotional release. A skilled guide learns to distinguish between healthy emotional processing and situations where intervention is necessary. This discernment requires patience, experience, and deep respect for the individual's internal process. In many cases, simply allowing the experience to unfold naturally is the most supportive action a guide can take. As we continue discussing therapeutic mushroom work on this podcast, it is important to emphasize that healing does not come from the mushroom alone. Healing emerges from the relationship between preparation, intention, the experience itself, supportive guidance, and thoughtful integration. Each of these elements works together to create an environment where the mind can reorganize itself and release what it has been holding. When individuals approach this work responsibly and with proper support, they often discover that the most meaningful insights arise not from external advice, but from their own inner wisdom. The guide simply helps create the space where that wisdom can be heard. If you would like to learn more about the structured framework for therapeutic mushroom journeys, I encourage you to explore the Ultimate Mushroom Therapy Protocol, available on Amazon now. The book offers a step-by-step guide to preparation, intention setting, journey support, and integration. And if you would like to hear more conversations about healing, consciousness, and the practice of therapeutic journey work, be sure to visit the Mushroom Therapy YouTube channel, hosted by Shaman Gabriel, where many of these ideas continue to be explored. Thank you for joining me for episode 5 of the Mushroom Therapy podcast. In our next episode, we will explore another important topic: how integration practices help individuals turn powerful mushroom experiences into lasting psychological growth and meaningful life changes. Until then, take a moment to consider the role that supportive relationships play in your own life. Healing often happens not in isolation, but in the presence of understanding and compassion. This is psychologist Yee Lin, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you on the next episode of the Mushroom Therapy podcast.
Hello everyone, Shaman Gabriel. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also check out this video right here that YouTube thinks you will really enjoy. Thank you for tuning in.